All right, today we're jumping into this incredible story from a classic Buddhist scripture. It plays out like a high-stakes drama, really all about what it takes to get to the finish line of a massive goal. And believe me, it's a lesson that is just as relevant now as it was thousands of years ago.
You know that feeling, right? You've been working so hard for months, maybe even years. You can see the end, but you're also just so tired. It's in that final stretch where the biggest danger isn't some outside force, it's actually your own mind. Let's see how one ancient seeker dealt with this exact challenge.
So our hero is this young seeker named Sudhana. His search for enlightenment wasn't just some intellectual thing. No, this was a massive physical journey. An absolutely incredible scale. And he's right on the edge of meeting his final guide. But first, he's about to get a really crucial and honestly pretty dramatic final lesson.
Okay, so picture this. After this unbelievable pilgrimage, Sudhana finally gets to a place called Sumana City. This is it. This is the spot where he's hoping to finally come face-to-face with the great Bodhisattva, his teacher, Mañjuśrī.
You know, I just want to pause here for a second. That number, 110 cities. That isn't just a number on a slide. That represents a mind-boggling amount of physical and spiritual effort. Just try to imagine the dedication, the resilience, the pure grit it took to do that, all for one single purpose.
So there he is, standing at the city gates. And he's not relaxing, not taking a break. He is concentrating with every ounce of his being. He's scanning everything, focusing his entire mind on one thing and one thing only, finding Mañjuśrī. The anticipation is just electric.
And this is where the story goes from an epic journey to something totally supernatural. What happens next isn't just a quiet meeting. It's a moment that literally breaks the laws of space and time.
Now check this out. A yojana is an ancient unit of measurement, and it's roughly several miles long. So when the text says 110 yojanas, we are talking about a hand stretching across hundreds of miles. It's this impossible, awe-inspiring event that just screams how important this connection is about to be.
And from that impossible distance, the teacher's hand comes to rest right on Sudhana's head. It's this incredible gesture of blessing, of acknowledgement, and it's the setup for a really powerful teaching. The connection has been made.
But Mañjuśrī doesn't just pat him on the head and say, "Good job." Instead, he gives him this incredibly profound warning. And it's not a scolding, It's more like compassionate, critical advice for anyone who's on a long, hard journey, especially when you're that close to the end. He basically says, look, even after all this, you can still stumble. The final bosses aren't out there in the world. They're in here, in your own mind and spirit. So what are these traps?
Okay, so first up are the internal struggles. We've all been there. Losing faith? That's when you forget why you even started. Then there's discouragement, that heavy, I just can't do this anymore feeling. And, of course, a lack of diligence. That's burnout, right? That's when the daily effort just grinds to a halt. These are all the ways our own minds can trip us up right before we cross the finish line. Now, this next one is so relatable. It's the danger of feeling satisfied too early. It's like you get a promotion at work and you think, okay, I've made it, and you just coast. You get attached to that one small merit, that one win, and you mistake it for the grand prize. Mañjuśrī is warning that this kind of complacency is a total progress killer. It stops you from even seeing the bigger goals that are waiting for you.
And finally, the warning goes beyond just your own willpower. You can stumble if you don't have a good guide, a mentor who can see the path ahead better than you can. And you can fail if you lose sight of the bigger picture, if you get so caught up in the details that you miss the whole point of what you're doing. It's a huge reminder that pure effort isn't always enough. You also need the right support and the right perspective.
But here is the most amazing part of the story. Hearing this warning, it wasn't a punishment for Sudhana. It was actually the key. The very act of understanding these potential failures allowed him to instantly transcend them, and the result is immediate and it is overwhelming.
The second he truly gets it, Sudhana is transformed. It's described as this explosion of new abilities, as if the warning itself was the final trigger that unlocked his full potential. He gains these 3 boundless qualities.
First, he gets what's called boundless tharani. Just imagine your mind having perfect recall, able to hold massively complex ideas with total clarity. It's like a complete system upgrade for your focus and memory. Next up, boundless samadhi. This is a state of deep, unbreakable meditative focus.
His mind becomes this fortress of calm and stability, totally unshaken by anything going on around him or inside him, a quiet center in any storm.
And finally, he's filled with boundless wisdom. And this isn't just about being smart or knowing a lot of facts. We're talking about a limitless, penetrating insight into how reality actually works. He doesn't just know things, he understands them on the deepest level imaginable. So you're probably thinking, awesome, he did it. Roll credits, the journey's over. But nope, that's not the lesson here at all. This incredible transformation, this huge blessing, it isn't the finish line. It's actually the new starting line.
Mañjuśrī uses this moment to level him up, placing him in what's called Samantabhadra's practice ground. Think of it like graduating from the minor leagues to the majors. This is the ultimate path. So the reward for all his perseverance wasn't a long vacation, it was getting ready for the final, most important part of his entire quest.
And that leaves us with a really powerful question to think about in our own lives, right? We all have our own journeys. The story of Sudhana basically asks us to look at them and wonder, where am I getting a little too comfortable? What small win am I clinging to that might be stopping me from reaching for something truly great? It's an amazing reminder that sometimes the final test is just having the will to keep going, even when that finish line seems close enough to touch.